Who, if anybody, should still consider purchasing an Oppo PM-3? Stay tuned and let's discuss it. The PM-3 in 2021 is still a tough sell because Oppo actually stopped making products a few years ago, back in 2017 if I remember correctly, or 2018. Its asking price then was around $400. Nowadays it can go for much higher, though I got a great deal on the ones I own now from my cousin, who was looking to consolidate and prevent his overzealous baby from destroying everything and ruining his life.
I wish you'd get out of my life and shut up.
Babies, you can't trust them. The PM-3 is a risky endeavor, and we don't want to pay upwards of $500 to $600 only to end up being disappointed. So with that said, what are some of the highlights of this headphone? Decay and instrument timbre. As with most planars, decay and instrument timbre is really good. Both of these qualities in planar headphones is what makes them stand out amongst the crowd, and the Oppo PM-3 is no different. Detail. The best way to describe the extra detail you'll hear with the PM-3 would be an analogy to cookie crumbles. Those small morsels of goodness that add to the experience but aren't necessarily immediately noticeable. Still, it became apparent on one of my favorite beats of all time, and one that I thought I knew like the back of my hand. Dilla's Climax instrumental. Upon first listen, the beat really just sounds like drums and a wispy background melody, but the genius of Dilla was that he was able to make something seemingly so simplistic sound almost otherworldly. The PM-3 only enhances and magnifies this notion in a way that truly surprised me. On Black Star's Thieves in the Night, another song I've heard probably 2,000 times, my jaw dropped yet again. Towards the end, after Mos Def's verse, both he and Quali ad-libbed the outro and exchanged some ideas about life, overcoming fear, and ultimately coming to terms with the sinister and deceptive nature of the music industry. I can never quite make out what they are saying during some of it, but at 4 minutes and 14 seconds you can clearly hear Mos Def say, quote, "You can just walk it off to get to your destination." And then you hear Quali say in response, quote, "And then when you get there, you have to, celebrate." I promise you I've been listening to this song intently since the early 2000s, and I have never once been able to make out what they were saying on any of the 100+ headphones that I've demoed at the time of this video. By this point, I've memorized the entire song's lyrics but can never make out that subtle conversation / talking at the end. This is just another in a long list of reasons why the PM-3 has always stood out to me. I believe it does a fantastic job of spacing things out, a running theme in the article which I'll link below. Comfort. Comfort is surprisingly good here, and the headphone just makes the cut in terms of actually being circumaural. You'll feel them touching your ears quite a bit, but you'll likely be able to wear them for long periods because nothing about the headphone really digs all that much, even though first putting them on may yield an opposite reaction. You may not like the build. They're built very well except for one caveat, the pads. They will start to crack and peel over time, one thing my cousin pointed out to me on his pair before I purchased them. They are in the infancy stages of just starting to crack and will need a replacement at some point. Fortunately, there are aftermarket pads which I will link down below. Closed in sounding? After listening to a Deva for a couple of weeks straight, the PM-3 comes off as somewhat claustrophobic. This is a phenomenon I've discussed quite a bit with regard to how your brain perceives sound, and you will have to get reacclimated to the closed back sound if you're coming from an open back. So should anyone purchase a PM-3 now? I would buy one if and only if you can get it for around $200. Anything more than that is kind of a waste of money at this point, even despite the fact that I really do enjoy the headphones. There are other closed backs available that I think are worth a look over the PM-3, including the Meze 99 Classic, as well as AKG's K371. Does the planar PM-3 outclass those in an AB head-to-head shootout? I can't say one way or another as I don't have all three here to go back and forth, but I'd still lean towards no on a purchase unless the price is right.
The price is wrong, bitch.
Yes! Unplanned meme! Good old Bob Barker. If you're looking for a good closed back headphone with a bit more of an even sound signature at a sensible price, you may want to consider the K371. Click the video to my right for a full discussion. I'll see you over there.